Hello everyone, Craig Chamberlain here with CraigTheTechTeacher.com, and you're watching IT Life, where I give you a snippet into the real world of IT, information technology. I've been in IT for about 10 years and been doing online content creation for about 6 of those years. And now I got this awesome job that blends the two together, because I work for a company who's also a top patron known as Precision Electric, industrial service center that does industrial repairs for drives, motors, all kinds of automation and retrofits, cool stuff. Also, another top patron for this month and for this show is Jacob Williams of WildAcademy.com. If you're interested in Ruby programming or web development, check out his videos as well as following an interesting guy in the video description below. Interesting how we all things get crazy on holiday weekends. I don't understand it, but sometimes I'll go through. You'll have these great. Everybody gets excited about the holiday weekend, and I'm guilty of this big time. And I want to know if you guys are the same way. But when a holiday weekend comes up, you make plans, right? You make all kinds of plans. But here's the thing: is when did we forget that the whole point of like a holiday weekend is to relax? Because I don't do that. Like if there's a big weekend, it's not like I'm going to do nothing all weekend. It's, oh, let's go to the zoo. Let's bring the kids to the zoo and let's get together and have some dinner and let's go here and swim and let's go do this and go do that and go do this. And so at the end of every holiday weekend, it seems, and maybe it's just me, I'm more stressed out than I was before the weekend started. And of course, it's all my fault. I got nobody to blame but myself. Here, when you're sitting in front of a computer all week, I don't know if like your skin gets thicker or you get thin-skinned when it comes to like being active. Maybe you just get a sedentary, and so when you're out and about for an entire weekend, it kind of throws you off completely. And that seems to be how it went this weekend, because I did the zoo on Sunday, and then I did my parents' house where they opened their pool on Monday, and then of course on Saturday we were all over. I was visiting a friend who was in town, and of course, by Sunday, I was burnt out. Completely and utterly burnt out. But hey, back at work, and this is the weird thing about me, I get excited because I can come back to work. I'm like, more structure. Because I get impatient after a certain amount of time. So that brought up my topic for today. And I was talking to it with a coworker briefly. Are you a creature of habit? Because I am. I like to get in a routine, and then when I'm in that routine, kind of stick to it a lot and deviate from it rarely. And when I do deviate from the routine, things kind of just start to spiral out of control in their own really weird way. Now, when I say I'm a creature of habit, obviously, in your respect, like for example, I always talk about this on this show, is that I have a to-do list, and some people recommended, hey, Craig, get a Nexus 7 or a Nexus tablet for your to-do list. Well, it's like, well, I have an HTC One M8. But here's the thing. Once you've developed the written to-do list habit, this is actually more interactive. There's something about writing something down that just works better than doing this. Because I think what it is when I'm using a phone, it's a lot easier to get distracted. So like I'm going to say, I'm going to see what's on my to-do list. And I'll open it up and say, ooh, Candy Crush. All my lives are back on Candy Crush. Or I wonder what's going on Google Plus. And then before I know it, I came here to check my to-do list. And then I ended up not actually checking my to-do list. Whereas with this, something like this, where I just write items in a list, I can just set it on my desk and then occasionally go, oh, what am I forgetting to do? But I'm a creature of habit in that respect. My morning routine's the same way. I get out of bed. I get out of bed, take a shower, go to work. I don't eat breakfast. I know. I'm extremely unhealthy. That's what people keep telling me anyway. And then I go to work and I have a cup of coffee or two, and then I go to lunch, and then I have my lunch at the exact same time every day, and then I come back here, and then I work for the same amount of time every day, and then I go back home, and then I go back home. And so if something deviates, like for example, if I don't eat my lunch, I skip lunch, like for the next 3 days I'm recovering. Can't possibly be a good sign. Can't possibly be a good sign. So anyways, what's going on here is the phones are ringing, as you can see. But in between phone rings, I'm going to go ahead and talk in closer to them. Oh, somebody got it. Next week is our expo here, and that's the big day. That's the day where, if you haven't been to the website yet for our company, precision-elect.com, that's where we're going to have a day full of training, and we're going to be experimenting with some new recording formats. We want to be able to record a couple classes, and I'm going to have Chris Keyworth of the Craig and Chris Show come in and help me with that. He put together that cool little promo video for it. If you go to the website, he put that cool 60-second promo video together for it. Kind of want to work with him on doing a promo video for my Patreon page. That would be kind of cool. But he did a really good job of making sure that turned out as professional as possible. But that's a big thing that's going on next week. We're hoping to get a robot in. I think we're going to actually have a robot in for the ABB robotics division. And, you know, it'd be cool if I could have that as a permanent background, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to let me keep it. But if they let me do some demos with it, wouldn't that be sweet? Maybe we should talk to them about that. Say, oh, it would be great for your brand, you know, because even Tony Stark in Iron Man 3 had ABB robots. Right? Obviously, there's somebody in the ABB marketing department who thought that was a good idea, or maybe that was just where they ended up getting them from. But that's kind of where things have kind of got thrown a cog in the wheel, so to speak, for this entire week. Is this whole expo is going to be going on, and I don't even know how I'm going to do the IT Live videos around that time, because things will just get absolutely insane. But I had a couple good ideas from people when I did the registration page for that. I did it through WordPress, and I did contact forms, but apparently there's a database forms you can get as well for WordPress that'll allow people to register to your event or to your forms, and it'll actually collect it in a database. Because right now I had to actually manually go in and keep track of all the registrations, and it would have been a lot nicer if I accumulated that data in a database, and then I could display it or manipulate it however I wanted. But if you guys are in web development at all, check that out. I think it's called just database forms is what somebody said, or DB forms. Can't remember. I used contact form 7. So, are you a creature of habit? I am. I certainly am. And when things get thrown out of whack, I end up being out of whack in the exact same way. So that's it for today's IT Live video. I was curious where you guys stood on in the whole realm of habits. Just genuinely curious. Until next time, guys, don't be mastered by the machine, and I'm not just talking about technology.